and spirituality. He's also the founder of the Qi Life Store, where he offers tools and programs designed to optimize mind, body, and spirit. Let's dive into David's journey and the transformative potential of the Qi Coil. David, good to see you, man.
Good to see you, Anthony.
Let's get into a little bit of your background. Tell us about what inspired you to create Qi Coil in the first place. And I know that you had some personal health challenges as well that kind of led you into this space. So give us the TLDR.
Yeah. So when I was in my 20s, by the way, I'm 44. I'm not in my 20s anymore. But when I was in my 20s, I was, starting my career as an entrepreneur, and I dropped out of engineering in UBC, University of British Columbia. I had a $10,000 full scholarship to study engineering, but I said, I don't want to be an engineer. I don't want to be stuck behind a desk my whole life. I wanted to pursue my dreams and passions, so I went to study music.
I bet your parents love that.
Yeah, and they had no problem with it. So I went and studied music. I play piano, I play guitar, I sing, and I did that. But then I said, how am I going to make money? So I said, I got to figure something out. So I started to get into real estate. So at that time, I started flipping houses when I was in my 20s. So I was doing quite well. But what happened was I met this guy that was supposed to be a mentor, supposedly, and he was very successful and so on. And what ended up happening was I gave him all my money, and I lost it all because he was a scam artist and he was a con artist. So I was completely devastated because I thought, I was going to succeed, but then I went backwards. And that really traumatized me emotionally. My confidence was gone, and financially I was devastated. And that created this huge stress in my life that I never experienced before. It was like huge dark time in my life, and that made me go into depression, and that led into a physical condition, which is like a digestive disorder, and it's called ulcerative colitis, if you heard that. So you're bleeding internally every single day of your life, every moment of the day. You can't even leave the house because it gets so bad. You have no energy, you can't focus, you have brain fog. So that was my life, not just for a few months, but for the next 10 years. I never was able to heal that for 10 years. And I went to all the experts, and all they told me was, here's some medication, try this. Here's some, maybe you should get surgery, maybe you should do this. And nothing helped. I even did the naturopathic method, and it helped a little bit. I mean, it will reduce the symptoms about 20-30%. But, I was spending a few $100s a month just on the naturopathic medicine, right? So long story short, after 10 years, I just got so frustrated with my life because, in your 20s and 30s, you want to succeed, right? And
you're supposed to be in your prime.
Yeah, I was in my prime. So how come I'm just stuck at home all the time? I don't even have energy to go out. People are going out there, making things happen in their life. I need to change something. So I was on my knees and I was crying, and I was raised as a Christian, so I was crying out to God. I said, God, why is my life like this? What's wrong? What's missing? What do I need to do? What do I need to do to get unstuck from this place that I've been stuck for 10 years? And I heard a small voice in the silence, and it told me, David, meditate. And then I heard that so clearly, but I was really confused because what's this meditation, right? I know about prayer, but what's meditation? So it led me down into a quest of kind of reigniting some of the things that I had passions for and had talent for, which is music, martial arts, and engineering. So I said, okay, what kind of music or sounds or frequencies can I use to help me meditate better? And so I started researching that, experimenting with different things. Okay, what kind of meditation things can I do? Or martial arts, so I studied Qigong. I did Wim Hof as well, right? It's kind of like Qigong, breathing exercises, visualization. I started to do more martial arts. I started to basically tinker with different things, with coils. And eventually what happened was I created these coils and started to say, well, what if I play these frequencies through the coils? What would happen, right? Would it, because I know these can generate magnetic energy. So I was studying this, I mean, I'm Asian, right? So I always had this idea about Qi energy and life force. So what if I can create Qi energy from a technology? Wouldn't that be really cool, right? Instead of just, using the old method, which is, I mean, the traditional method, which is like to build it up in your body and to use basically your mental powers to heal yourself. Why don't we create technology that could do that for you? So I started experimenting with it. And at first it was just to enhance my meditation, which it did. And in 90 days, not only was able to get into these really profound meditation experiences, I felt like I was like in another world. I wasn't doing any drugs, it's just using frequencies. And I was like experiencing these really, I was, I was getting high, and also I was getting these out of body experiences, and like I just felt like I was not even in my body, and I felt my body vibrating like very violently without even moving. So, and I said, wow, something really profound's happening. I don't know what it is, but it's happening. At the same time, I accidentally healed myself from the disease that I had for 10 years through that process.
Oops.
Yeah, oops. So it's a lucky accident. So what, and I say, I think I figured out what I need to do with the rest of my life, right? Because I was asking God, what do you want me to do? I'm stuck for 10 years. What's the purpose of my life? And you go back a little bit, you read my book, Life of Qi. It talks about when I was young, and when I was 10 years old, I had a near-death experience. I had an accident where I cracked my head open, and they had like 8 hours of surgery just to fix my head. And then I would have had brain damage, most likely, if I did survive the accident. Luckily, there was no brain damage, and I survived, and I was healthy. So I only had a 50% chance of survival, said the surgeons at the time. So ever since then, I felt that there's something more to life than what we see, right? There's something more. And we have a purpose, right? I don't think that I would have survived if God didn't give me a purpose, give me a reason to do that. So that's why it was extra frustrating for that 10 years, because I thought there was a purpose, but then I was just stuck at home doing nothing and just in pain and just surviving, right? So at that point, so fast forward to that point where I healed myself. I say, well, I think I found it. I think I found this is the purpose. I need to help all the people out there that are crying out, desperate for change, desperate for transformation, desperate for healing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt it. I felt what it was like. I felt how dark that could be for somebody.
Yeah.
So, and you probably have had that experience yourself, right? So, so I said, yeah, I'm going to devote my time, my energy, my talents, and my energy, my mind and my body into basically creating something that could give people who need it the same experience that I did. And not only same, but do it faster and do it better. Because I'm an engineer. I'm always looking to optimize things. I want to make it easy. I want to make it simple. I want to make it scalable. And I want to make a business too, so that we can profit from it, right? So that's what I've done. And 7 years later, now we have the world's most advanced frequency technology. It's called the Qi Coils, right? We have tens of thousands of people. We're endorsed by doctors, PhDs. We did a clinical trial with 100% success rate. We're doing another clinical trial right now. So it's very exciting. And now we have Qi Life centers. So we have actual businesses that operate the larger coils. If you see in the background here, we have a larger coils where we can, I don't know if you can see that. So there's the larger coils there. So that's just one. So the Qi Life centers will have actually 8 of those. And what happens is you create this really intense field of energy and frequency, and in 30 minutes you can really make some incredible transformations in a person. And we can put 30 people in the room, and they will all get the same energy and enhancement and recharging of their body.
That's incredible. Now, speak a little bit on, I've been using the machine for the device for a few months, and I really enjoy it. I use it right now, like when I'm doing podcasts, when I'm on calls with clients, when I'm just hanging out. Really, the best part about it is it's small, it's portable. You can do it with a lot of other activities where there's no extra time required, and you have all of the hundreds of Rife frequencies, which I'm going to ask you about at some point in this interview, because our listeners probably aren't familiar with with what right frequencies are and how they're used. But you also make it really easy where you've got these basic frequencies where you can go in there and you can choose soothe if you're experiencing pain and inflammation. You can choose a Qi energy activation frequency, which is what I have on right now. And so it's like you have this tablet as an interface, and then it runs through. Is this some sort of transformer, or what's the proper?
That's just
word?
it's like a power kit, so it converts the sound into energy. It
Right.
converts the
Okay.
sound into the electrical current.
And when you were first experimenting with this early on with your meditations and things, what were you using for coils? Because you guys make these coils. What did you use at the beginning?
I was using just a bunch of wires. So,
Really?
I mean, before we created it, I was just using a bunch of wires and just winding them around, a frame. That's all I was doing. It was a very crude way of doing it, but
Awesome.
it worked.
Almost like your own Jimmy rig Tesla coil.
Something like that. Yeah, I felt like I'm Iron Man just hammering the thing out in the cave.
Very cool. And speak a little. I mean, so when we talk about Qi, I like looking for the parallels and the connections between Eastern and Western, because I think a lot of times we're talking about the same thing, but with different words. Qi is, we talk about electromagnetic energy, life force, our redox potential, the amount of electrons flowing through our body that we could use to neutralize oxidative stress and free radicals. Is that Qi? Is Qi something else? What's your take and interpretation of Qi at this point in time? And what is its parallel in Western medicine,
I think
allopathy?
I like to use the Star Wars definition. Qi is the force that connects everything together and it flows through everything in the universe. It's in you,
Yeah.
it's around you, and it connects you to other people and everything in the universe. So,
It's God.
well, you could maybe, but it's an energy. Does it have intelligence? Right? I don't think it has intelligence per se. But so that I like that explanation because it's bigger, right? And it covers more things. Um, but in traditional Chinese medicine, qi, there's a specific definition for it. It's more about the flow of energy inside of the body, um, and it follows the blood and it follows the intent of the mind. Okay, so
Yeah.
so there's different definitions depending on how you look at it, right? I mean, if some scientists say that it's the biofield, right? Because we have a energy field around your body. I can actually physically measure it. You can measure it with a electromagnetic field meter, right? And your heart has the strongest electromagnetic field out of all the organs in your body.
Yeah, the Heart Math Institute's doing a lot of great work in that area.
Right. So this creates what you call a biofield, or energy field around your body that's measurable. So some people say, oh, that is qi, right? So there's different ways, but I think what it comes down to is energy. Okay, what kind of different energies can you generate in your body? Well, we can measure electrical energy, voltage in the cells. We can measure the amount of ATP that's produced by your cells. We can measure the the electromagnetic field from all the nerves and from all the circuitry in your body. We can measure the electromagnetic field from your brain. We can measure photonic energy from your hands. Actually, photons come out of your hands and from your body, right?
I've got a gas discharge visualization camera.
Okay, great. Yeah, so
camera.
you can measure that, and then we go into the more spiritual stuff, which is okay, like how does your consciousness affect reality, right? How can you send energy or send intentions out into reality, or heal somebody remotely through prayer or through meditation? Well, that's also a sort of energy, right? So what it all comes down to is energy and frequency. Okay, there's many different ways of expressing it, and people say, "Oh, it's this, and they're all right, they're all correct." But you just have to step back and say, "Okay, qi, what is it? It's actually just energy, and it's what's in us, and it's around us, and it connects everything in the universe, just like Star Wars."
Yeah, good answer. I think we've all, well, a lot of us have probably heard the quote that's attributed to Nikola Tesla, that if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, you must think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And I think the life experience that many of us have has illuminated the fact that there's truth to that, but we have a difficult time as human beings with things that we can't see. And I'm curious, you mentioned some different things that can be measured, our electromagnetic energy, our torus field, our voltage. With all of your experience, what are the measuring devices that you find yourself using the most? Like I use an ENV RD10 meter. All of our clients get it to measure the frequencies in their home because a lot of times the electromagnetic devices that we use that are technologically integrated with our lives, they actually steal voltage from our body.
Yeah.
But I'm curious what do you use to measure someone's field or their voltage that you keep coming back to? Because there's so many devices.
Yeah, I don't really get into the measurement part that much. But when I do, okay, you have these EMF meters, people go put it on their laptop or on their phone and then on their computer and say, wow, there's so much electromagnetic energy coming from it. And it's harmful, right? It's harmful EMFs. So it's good to know, be aware of it. But there's also, you have to understand that EMF is not necessarily bad. It just means electromagnetic field. Earth has an electromagnetic field. Plants have electromagnetic fields. Okay, we have electromagnetic fields. So the key is what frequency and what shape and how you generate that electromagnetic field, right? The reason why the cell phone's not good for you is because 5G is 5 million or whatever trillion beats per second, right? It's not good for you. It's not, doesn't synchronize with your natural body, right? But there are frequencies like, for example, Earth is 7.83, right? If you can go into really basic frequencies like that. And water, they say is 10 hertz or something like that. And it matches up with our brainwaves, alpha brainwaves. So some frequencies
that we go into when we meditate.
Exactly. So some frequencies are good for you. So you can measure your I mean, if you want to measure, I think what you have there, the GDV camera, that's a really good one. That's quite accurate. I like that one. But for me, I think it's more important to figure out just what frequencies you like and just use them every day, right? Instead of, I like preventative health more, right? And to raise the energy and the vibration of the body and the mind just 1% a day and just have that happening all the time, so you don't have to think about it, right? So I don't focus too much on measuring. And the way that we measure is just more qualitative rather than quantitative. But you can measure, biofield. But what you can measure, you can measure your HRV. It's just not, it's not something I personally do that much because I know, right? I train boxing and I 4 days a week, right? And I compete in the amateurs, right? So when your performance sucks, you know that you're not doing something well. If your performance get better every time you train, that means you're doing something right. So that's how I kind of gauge myself, right? If my sleep's good and I'm feeling rested and I'm doing something right? If I'm feeling pain or if I'm feeling unfocused or tired more than I'm supposed to, then something's not right. So I use a more qualitative way of kind of gauging how I'm doing.
I do too. I think a lot of the reliance on technology and self-quant devices is in part due to people have diminished instincts and they're not as in touch with how they're actually feeling. I think we're pretty disconnected in general as a society. And so they're like, oh, I don't know if I'm healthy or not. I don't know if I'm feeling good. I don't know what I feel. We're thinking all the time. We're in this up in our head space rather than our heart space. And so then we're turning to technology, like, tell me if I'm good or not. Exactly. Whereas probably some of those strategies that we were talking about before we officially started, like doing autonomic response testing. Can you just recap real quick for someone who jumped in maybe at this point in the episode? How can someone learn and develop the ability to do autonomic response testing to see if something is good for them, whether it's a frequency on the Qi Coil, a supplement, a lifestyle change, what have you?
Yeah, this is a very important skill, and it's like the basis of building what you call intuition, right? And you tell me if this is important, right? What do you think the billionaires have that a millionaire doesn't have, right? It's not just the money, it's their intuition. They know, oh, that's a good thing to investment. That's a good person to work with. That's a person I should fire. This I should avoid, right? A lot of times they say it's through experience, but they got to where they have because they have something special. I think it's intuition, right? That's what separates the super successful from the people that are just average successful, right? So
Yeah.
so it begins with this, and there's one way of training your intuition. It's called kinesiology, right? It's called muscle testing. And basically your body will tell you whether something is true or not. So it gives you a yes or no answer. And the way to do it is just with your hands. So if you make a link like this, okay, and then say something that's
You're taking your index finger and thumb and connecting the two circles so they're interlocked.
yeah, so you're locking let's say you make an okay symbol with both hands, and then you lock the O's together.
Okay.
All right. And then you say something that's true about yourself that you know for sure. Like, my name is David, or my name is Anthony, right? And then you feel that being pretty solid. Okay. So you kind of create that, what you say, you create that baseline, or you train that sensation. So, okay, that feels solid. Then you say something that is not true about yourself. What was that one thing you said?
I just said, my name is Judy.
Or, I'm a biological woman, right?
Oh, earlier, yeah.
I'm a biological woman. And then see,
Yeah.
your body automatically gets weak because that's not true. Okay.
Right.
So you do that a few times, right? Okay, say something true again. Okay, that's true. You can say it in your mind, you don't have to say it out. And then say something, and then do something weak again. So you get a feel, okay, so you kind of program your body to know what is yes and what is no. Then let's say you're looking through the frequencies, right? So let's say you want to do something for your hip. So you find there's 10 different hip frequencies. By the way, there's 10,000 programs, Rife frequencies we have in our system, and that's all included in all the systems included. So
10,000.
Yeah, it's not a few hundred, it's 10,000. So if it's $1 each, that's $10,000 worth of stuff you get for free when you get our stuff, get our coils.
$1 for a frequency sounds cheap.
Yeah.
For a healing frequency.
Right. So let's say, okay, so when I go here, there's abdominal cramps, abdominal inflammation. So which one do I use? So what you do is you just play one of them, right? You may not even have to play it, by the way, but let's do it this way first. So you play it, you press play, the coils, it comes through the coils. By the way, if you're wondering what happens when it comes through the coils, so when I play, let's say I play the test frequency here, okay?
Yeah, this is really cool.
Okay, I gotta play the test frequency, type play. Okay, so now it's playing, and then it goes to this. This is the power kit, and then this is the coil, is one of them. And then what I have on there is a little magnet. You kind of zoom in. Okay, you see it moving around, right?
Oh, there you go. It's bouncing around like a little electron.
Yeah. So you can actually physically see the energy coming out of the coil because the magnet is vibrating to the magnetic field. Okay, yeah. So that's what's happening. So that's what you do to test it. And you don't need this. It's just for you to test it. So I just put it on my table in front of me every day when I'm working, and now that's playing. And now I select the frequency that I want. Let's say I select abdominal pain or something like that, and I play it, okay. And I go like this. Okay, is this frequency good for me? Yes or no? And then boom, I feel it. It's actually pretty strong. So yeah, this is a good frequency for me, right? So you can ask any question you want. Say, is this the, and you test them one at a time, and then you go through 10 of them, and then you figure out which one has the strongest effect, and that's the best one for you at a time. And the thing is, it changes, right? The next day, yeah, that may not be the best one. Maybe it's something else, right? And what you can do, you actually can build a playlist through here, and let's say you have, over time, you figure out, oh, here's 6 frequencies I really love, and it all works all the time. So you just make a playlist, and you just play that every day. You just put it on your table, or even
you can do that
underneath your bed. Yeah, you can do that. People play it throughout their night when they're sleeping. People play it
with the large sleep one a lot.
People play it on the coils that run through their house all day if they want. And now you created this bubble or this energy field and this frequency that's always vibrating to support you and your family and your pets and your dogs and your plants too, by the way, all the time. And you don't have to think about it, right? You don't have to lie down on any mat. You don't have to hook yourself to a machine. You don't have to close your eyes. You can even work out while this is playing, right? So it's really quite versatile what you can do with it. You can bring this to you in the car while you're driving. You
Yeah.
could bring it to the
It's
gym.
easy to travel with.
Easy to travel with. Comes with a travel case too. I travel with it. I don't leave anywhere without. Yeah, and leave the city without it.
It's like your American Express card.
Yeah, don't leave home without it.
Did you, when you were learning the applied kinesiology / muscle testing, did it take you a little bit to hone and develop your skill? Like I feel right now, I notice it, I can tell a difference, but I'm like, I feel like I've got a bit of a crude instrument. Or were you just good at it from the beginning?
It takes time, right? It's sharpening anything. It's like sharpening your senses. How do you have better senses, right? It's just a matter of just training that awareness, right? How do people train their eyesight? How do people train their hearing? Well, you can train those things, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so it's just another sense. People call it the sixth sense, but it is actually another sense that you have as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of practice, right? And
That's
sometimes,
super powerful.
right? I
Being
mean,
able to use that with health decisions and get good at it.
yeah, and you can use it for any
Very
decision in your
powerful.
life. Um, yeah, and it just takes practice. Some people are better than others. Some people need more time. And what I find is that the type of people that are really good at it are artists. Okay, because
Yeah.
they just naturally feel, right? That's what they do,
Yeah.
right? They feel
Yeah.
to create music. They feel to create art. So
Yeah.
artists, it's easy for them because they feel it in their body. It's like, oh, I can feel it in my bone. I can feel it in my guts. That is intuition, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing when you're using this muscle testing. Is you're using your body to give you information, okay?
Very
And
cool.
it can go quite into the woo woo land, okay? Once you practice it more. Uh,
Our audience is fine with woo. We understand that we have limited technology to measure the unseen realm.
mhm. So if you want to take it to a step further into woo woo land, just think
Yeah.
about you can actually use this to give you information about somebody else that's not even there.
Mm. So
Okay.
like health coaches, doctors, people that are healers,
Yeah.
they can use that
Well, they
to
already do.
gather insight.
They
Yeah.
already do. So people who are trained in remote healing, people who are trained in this kind of they call it energy healing, they're
Yeah.
using this to find information about their patient or their client. So and the people say that's woo woo, right? But well, think about it this way, right? If we're all connected and we're all energy, why can't you access somebody else's energy even though they're far away? Because distance is just an illusion. Distance
Hmm.
and time is an illusion.
Yeah.
Frequency is what connects everything. Like and go into the quantum physics of it, right? There's a 0 point field. 0 point field is where everything's connected at the same time. Okay, so everything exists within the 0 point field. There's access to everything in the universe in one point. It's the they call it fractal reality, right? So um, the small part of a hologram, if you blow it up, is the same as the big hologram. If you go in more and you blow that up, it's the same again. You go in and then blow
Yeah.
it up, so it's all fractal. It's all holographic. So that's what happens in reality. It's all holographic. So every single point has within it everything else in the universe.
Yeah.
So if that's the truth, then that means that we have access to that with our minds and our consciousness. So we can actually access information about anything that we want. Okay, and that how do you access it? Well, you have to practice. And kinesiology, that's the first step because that's something you can feel immediately physically. But then you go to the next step, which is you don't have to feel it physically, you just feel it inside, internally.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So you don't have to move, you don't have to use your fingers, you can just feel it inside. It could be a gut feeling, it could be a vibration, it could be a sense, it could be a pressure. So
Yeah.
you have to practice feeling that and being aware of that. And you have to quiet yourself, right? That's the key. Because these things are very subtle and very quiet, right? Very, very quiet.
Hmm.
So if you're accustomed to having a lot of noise and distraction, you won't be able to do it. So you have to practice being quiet and calm, and that's what meditation does to get you into a state that's quiet enough that you can actually notice these little changes or these little feelings inside of you. So
hmm
that's basically like in a nutshell what, how to become superhuman.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. I think that's a fantastic skill set that I'm going to develop. One of the things that I've been doing more recently, the past few years, is when I'm working with someone, whatever it is that we're working on together, I'll pray for them. I'll pray about, asking for guidance and help, and them being able to manifest that and create it in their life. And I can't tell you, based on any data that it's working, but I feel like it's working. I feel like, so I'm also curious, what's the next level in your book with, you've got applied kinesiology, we have the Qi Coil, and I want to talk more about that and some of the clinical trials and some of your favorite frequencies. But we have a lot of doctors and healers and people that help our fellow living men and women, to upgrade their performance and get over challenges. Is there another skill set that you feel is just instrumental in developing if you want to have a big impact on the people that you're helping?
um Learning how to automate and delegate and multiply your efforts.
Mm,
Okay, that's one of the key things. That's kind of like a fundamental, thing that I want to uh, manifest with my technology. Is I want to make it duplicatable. Okay, not everybody can be a qigong master and devote 20 years of their life to be able to heal people with their hands and
wow.
instantly and across
Yeah.
distances, right? I mean, everybody can do it, but how many people can do it as well as a master, and how many people can do it 24 hours a day without getting tired, right? So
Right.
now, so I want to create technology that doesn't require physical effort or even mental effort. So that's one of the philosophies behind Qi Life is I want to be able to automate it. So there's Qi coils. There's um, another system I've developed called Qi Energy AI. Okay, so it's kind of like, I don't know if you've seen this before, but it's basically a robot that can do energy healing. Yeah, that sums it up. It's a robot that can do energy healing, and you can program it to send healing energy to your home or to your person or to a car on a schedule. 27 different programs.
Get out of here. What is it? Does this look like one of those Tesla robots? What are we talking about here? This is, I
It's
mean, it's
well,
interesting.
it's like ChatGPT. There's no physical thing. It's just a software, right?
Mm,
So and we're in a we're going to make it actually interact with people soon. But right now, you control it, right? So right now, you control the robot. You tell the robot, um, robot is just a website, okay? So you can tell it, okay, I want like chi energy. I want like immune boosting. I want mind focus. I want relaxation, and I want those uh, every day at this time at 9 o'clock a.m. And it will send that to you, okay, through our system every day at 9 o'clock. And that's all you need to do. You set it up, and it automatically will send chi energy to you or quantum energy to you repeatedly without any
does
effort.
this interface with the Qi coils and the Qi device, or is this something
Kind
different?
of. It doesn't interface. It's kind of like another another form of chi, right? Remember we talked about different kinds of chi energy,
Yeah.
right? So you use it together. I mean, I use it all. I use the Qi coils every day. I use Qi energy AI every day. I use red light panels every day. I use sound therapy. So all these. If you're a biohacker, um, what's very typical is they stacking different technologies together, right?
Yeah.
So what we're doing is that, but we're focusing on stacking frequency technologies together, right? Specifically, and Qi Energy AI is another type of frequency that you can receive, and there's no device, there's no coil, so it's kind of like just a different way of receiving a different type of Qi energy.
What's putting out the frequency or the energy?
This gets pretty woo woo, but it's basically it's basically what's putting out like that is a that assumes that something has to put it out, right? That has something has to generate it. Okay.
Yeah.
But the reality is that it's already there.
Yeah.
Okay. It's hard to explain because, okay, basically we're tapping into something that's already there. And then we're just using a process. It's using quantum entanglement. I know we're getting really wild here, but it's using quantum entanglement to just kind of like say, okay, it's already there. Which one do we want to hook up to? Okay.
Right.
So there's
Okay.
energy around you all the time. Like remember the 0 point field? It's there already. It has access to everything. All the energy and all the knowledge and all the frequencies and everything is accessible to anybody.
Yeah.
But all you have to do is just figure out specifically which part of it you want to access. So that's what quantum entanglement does. We can actually instruct it to access a specific kind of frequency and then bring it to your home. Okay. Yeah. So there's
I've wondered too how much of this is, I'm not saying with your device or anything, but when we're utilizing frequencies, there's a process of intention setting on a desired outcome, often coupled with varying degrees of belief in whatever device is being used, with where even if it was a placebo, just that process of setting an intention, dedicating time, and stacking it with belief that the outcome will come or be accelerated is powerful.
Yeah, intention is very powerful. Um, I think intention is what begins the process in most cases. And it leads you down a path where you find tools and you find things or people to help you reach your goal. Or
Yeah.
it starts to align your body and your mind towards the path where you want to go. Um, and then placebo, yes, 5% is guaranteed. Okay, 5% of all kinds of tests, placebo is guaranteed to have success. Okay, but there's also the other side that says, well, it is very powerful, but it's still only 5%. Okay, what about the other 95%? Right? So yes, it's good to have intention. That will get you the first 5%. Okay, but then you need tools, and you need like if you don't have tools, you need to put in the work to do the other 95%, right? So what I'm doing is I'm covering, yes, intention is good. Intention is probably why you bought the person listening to this podcast, right? Intention is what helped you to start this podcast and help you to reach out to me to do this podcast. So intentions begins the process, but there's many different things that help you cover the rest of the 95%. Because for 10 years I was sick, and I wanted to heal, but I didn't heal for 10 years. What was missing, right? So it starts the process, it starts the journey. But a lot of times, I mean, if that's what it takes to give you success, that's great. But I think most people, they need help, right? They need more than just intention.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you about sort of differentiating the Qi Coil from other frequency-based, call it PEMF devices that are on the market. And but first, I need to use the washroom. I've been slamming spring water all day, and so I'll be right back, and then we'll pick it up there.
All right, sounds good.
All right. How you doing on time?
I got time. About 10 minutes or so, 10, 15
Okay.
minutes. Yeah.
We'll wrap it up in the next 8 to 10 minutes. Um,
We're talking
so
about like how does this compare to other technologies?
yeah. What makes the Qi Coil different from other frequency-based or PEMF devices on the market?
Right. It's probably about 6 reasons why it's uh, much more robust. Okay, so the typical PMF device, they actually started being popular with horses. They use these tubes. It's just a wire in a plastic tube, and they put it on the horse, and it creates like a pulse of energy, and it's supposed to help the horse perform better, right, or recover faster.
Yeah.
Then they create
That's
these.
where a lot of biohacks start in that
Yeah.
field, the equestrian field.
Is it okay? So and then they start to make these like covers or these blankets so that they can cover the more area of the horse, right? And then they start to make mats for humans so that we can lie on them and get the energy. I mean, they're all great, but the thing is that you have to lie down the mat, and the field is very, very minimal. Like if you use a meter, you can't detect it more than a feet away. Like it's only got about an inch or two off the mat. That's why you have to touch them. The reason is because the coils are very flat and very thin. It doesn't create a very large magnetic field. Plus, they're only using a handful of different frequencies, anywhere from 0 to 30 hertz. That's all they operate in. So what I've done is I've made a lot of new advancements, so advanced that all the PMF people are really mad at me. They say, this is not a PMF device. And I say, you're right. It's way beyond what a PMF device can do. They say, how can you say it's a PMF device? It's not. Well, we generate a pulse electromagnetic field with coils that are shaped like a torus. So these are torus, and torus is the energy field shape that you see throughout nature. If you think about it, what was the shape? Galaxy or blood cells. The actual energy field from our body is shaped like this. Actually, from our heart is two toruses stacked together like this, one on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What else is shaped like this? Our chakras, the energy coming out from our energy centers, you actually measure it. They come out in vortex, in a spiral.
Yeah.
Okay.
See water vortex.
Water vortex. And they're using this, and actually they created this propeller for boats. You know, they have something called, you know, the higher efficiency, the better, right? They actually created something that's higher than 100% efficiency. So it actually creates more energy that you put in than you put in. It carries more energy out than you put in, using something related to the torus. So something kind of blows the conventional understanding of physics. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I was, figuring out what shape to use, like, why not use this? This is the most powerful shape in nature for creating energy, right? It interacts with your body the most efficiently, and that's what's happening. So that's why these ones can reach about 11 feet, and then the large ones can reach 3,000 square feet or more. Okay? It's just really potent how it's super efficient, which makes them create huge fields with very little energy put in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you use to like measure how far it can reach? How'd you determine that?
Well, there's different like electromagnetic field meters you can get, right? And some
Yeah.
very sensitive ones, right? So that's how you measure it.
Oh, cool.
So
Nice.
so that's number one. Our field is much bigger, and number two, we're using a shape of the the emitter itself is based on, you can say, sacred geometry, right? Because the flower of life is in here. It's based on what's naturally happening in your body and in nature. So that's number two. Number three is we actually have crystals in here. You can't see them on the video, but if you look very closely, there's 3 quartz crystals in there, and they're terminated, which means they have points. And if into Reiki,
yeah.
if you're into Reiki, how you can use pointed crystals to direct energy. So that's happening, and it's kind of like radio as well, because what radio is just quartz that is being excited with electrical energy, right? So this creates radio energy, radio wave field as well. And then we have the yin and yang. So I was experiencing with different windings, like, why is it going different directions, and specifically this direction? I found that one of them is more expansive and relaxing. One of them is more focused and aggressive feeling, or more activating. Mm-hmm. So I said, maybe that's yin and yang. And what I found out later was, based on the TCM, is that these shapes are actually represent yin and yang. That's after I created them. So when you create yin and yang energy, when you face them together, you create something very ultra balanced in your body. You got the feminine and the masculine, right? And the only way I can explain it is kind of like just balancing, the negative and the positive, right? So you have something that's already occurring in nature, and we are replicating that with the coils. And nobody's thinking about these when they create coils, except me. So that's another aspect. And then I haven't gone to the frequency. So like number 5 difference is we're the ones that combine PMF frequencies with Rife frequencies with our own proprietary frequencies that nobody else has. Okay, we talk about it, and I like to explain it in a way of dimensions. Okay, so for example, if you know music, if you play one note on the piano, it's like doo, that's just one note, and that's what Rife frequencies are. That's what PMF is, just one note, one frequency, right? And then we go, if you play 2 notes, then it's 2. If you play 3, then it's 3. If you start playing many notes and playing music, that's a lot more entertaining, and that's more emotionally transformative than just one note, right? So same thing happens with our frequencies. We actually create frequencies that are dynamic. It's like listening to music. And how we do it is one way is for example, we know NAD, which is good for your brain or good for longevity, right? We use the molecular structure and we put it into a algorithm, and we basically spin it 3-dimensionally. And while that's spinning, we extract all the points in the geometry as data. So when you're listening to it, or when you're using the coils, it's as if you're listening to a holographic projection of the molecule.
Wow.
And
That's tripping me out a little bit.
Okay, so nobody's thinking about this, right? Nobody's thinking about this. That's what we're doing. Does it work? Well, just look at our clinical trial. We say about clinical trial. So what else?
Talk about that a little bit too, please.
Okay, there's one more thing. So there's EMF protection. So there's a 6th thing that they don't have in traditional devices. Rife devices are PMF. So we basically, people say, you're not a Rife machine, not a PMF machine. They get mad, and they make all these like, they're fact checkers. They say, oh, this is not this and not that. Well, yeah, you're right. It's not. It's beyond that. We've gone way beyond this already. PMF was popular, like they started about 50 years ago. Do you think that something new wouldn't come out? Rife machines came out like in the 1930s. Do you think something new wouldn't be developed by then? So what I've done, I'm one of the only people that combine the Rife, PMF, EMF protection, crystal resonance, sound, and quantum, the frequencies that I talk about. We're the only people that do it. That's why we're the most advanced frequency device. Nobody can say that and say that they have all those things. So, and the 5th thing is EMF protection. How does it protect from EMF? Is because we create a field that harmonizes everything. Remember, we can cover the whole house with it. Okay, so we don't block the EMFs. We're not concerned about blocking anything, because actually we want the good ones. We want the good EMFs. So we create an energy bubble to harmonize EMF in the home, and I think that's better. So there's 6 really strong reasons why this is much more robust than technologies that's out there. And I mean, they're all great. They all work well on their own, and they all have merits, but they're not combining these things. They're not thinking in terms of the more holistic view, like, about how nature works, how, traditional Chinese medicine works, the concepts of yin and yang, how, and all that. Okay. So talk about a clinical trial. Okay, that all sounds great, but does it really work? Okay. So we did a clinical trial last
Let me
year.
just tell the people, the Qi Life Store, QILIFESTORE.com is where you can go and learn more about the Qi Coil, pick up a Qi Coil and utilize it. I've been loving it. I'm using it right now in the Qi energy activation setting. I use the soothe setting for a little bit of hip aggravation that I've been experiencing. So Qi Life Store, check it out if you've been enjoying this, if this resonates, and then please continue on the clinical trial, and then we'll wrap it up, because I know you got a time crunch.
Yeah.
We have enough questions where we could do a part 2, because there's a lot of interesting stuff here. But tell us about the clinical trial, and then we'll maybe do a part 2.
Yeah, so last year we did a clinical trial, and it went 7 months, and we had 25 patients. It's done by a couple of doctors and psychiatrists. So what happened was, these 25 patients, they all had some issue, and it's all various issues, right? Some had cancer, some had ADHD, autism, some had chronic fatigue, sleep issues, some had diabetes. Like it's just all a bunch of different things. So after the trial, what we found was we only had two kinds of results. It was really, really shocking what happened. There's only two kinds of results. We had fast results and we had immediate results. What we didn't have was slow, long results. Okay, what do I mean by that? Fast results were results and success or some kind of positive result in 30 days. Immediate was positive results within 7 days. The fastest result we had was in 0.34 weeks, which is in 3 days. Okay, so if you read the reports on the website, you just go to science and you go to, there's a science, actually, what's the link? I think it's research, and then you go to science and you click there, and then you can download this and read it for yourself. But basically, every single person had success with the coils, and you can read specifically which frequencies they use, how many times they use it in the week, how long they use it for, and the result of it. Okay, so it's really quite amazing. So by the way, we can't make claims that it's going to heal, treat, or mitigate or prevent any disease.
Can't say any of that.
You can't say any of that. But so these results,
It's entertainment, entertainment purposes only.
We can't guarantee that you're going to get any results, even based on the clinical trial. It's just what we observed, and that's the data, right? But you can. It's up to you to decide. We have lots of reviews. We have thousands of them, and you decide if this is something that can support you in your healing journey, right? That's all we want to do. We want to accelerate that healing journey, whatever you want to do. So that's the clinical trial I want in a nutshell. And then right now we're doing one for Qi Energy AI as well. We're sending it to, I think, 15 people and doing a double-blind study. So we tell 15 people we're sending it, but we're not. And then we're sending it for 15 people for real.
Oh, I like this.
So
that'll be fascinating.
Yeah.
Let's do a part two when that one comes out, or at some point, because I've got a ton more questions and interesting things. And but let's say there's someone that's resonated with this. They're interested in trying the Qi Coil, and they're kind of on the fence. What do you say to them?
We have a 30-day results guarantee. Okay, nobody has this. Okay, it's not 30 days. Whatever. It's a results guarantee. If you don't get results within 30 days, we get 100% money back. So there's absolutely no risk.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. No one does that.
Yeah. Results guarantee. It's not like, oh, you have to use it, you have to try it. No. Any results, if you don't get any kind of results or even the small results, you can return it within 30 days after you receive it, right? And 100% money back. That's how confident we are.
Guys, Qi Life Store, QILIFESTORE.com. David Wong, I appreciate you coming on, brother. I appreciate the work that you're doing. If you want to do a part two, I'm down to do it. We've got a ton of other incredible things and interesting topics to explore. But I want to be respectful of your time, and thank you.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you for having me.
Awesome job, man. Thank you.
You too. Yeah. So you have the code, you have the discount code you can use.
Do I?
Yeah, you have an affiliate account. I set it up for you already.
Did you? I didn't even know.
With your email.
All right. Well, I'll put it in the description. Either way, dang, I should have. I'll record an intro. And
let's do it now. So you have biohacks. Let's do a wrap up, and then you talk about that.
We'll see if it'll.
Biohacks is your code, right?
All right. Well, that's good. We'll see if this. Okay. So guys, apparently I forgot to mention the fact that we have a biohacks discount code that also saved it. David, tell them what that gets them.
Well, you get 5% off any system. Okay. And right now we have a promotion. In addition to that, you get a frequency voucher. You get the 10,000 Rife programs included, right? In your purchase, which is like, if it's $1 each, that's like $10,000 worth of frequencies. That's all included. Yeah. So you get, use Anthony's code, it's just biohacks, one word, and you get an additional 5% off.
Save yourself some coin. So, and you got the 30-day results guarantee. Yeah, I'm loving it. And I think it's great technology. If you guys feel like you want to check it out, you definitely should. QILifestore.com, discount code, biohacks. David Wong, appreciate you, bro. All right, nice. Thanks for the reminder. Now we'll get them both going. Yeah, hit me up if you want to do a part two, because I've got pages of questions that we didn't get to, but I think this is good. It was tight and concise. I
Yeah,
know you
just
got some
okay.
work to do.
Next week, same time is fine with me if you want.
Yeah,
Yeah, just book
yeah,
it.
let's do it. I'll just put it in next week, same time. I'll just move the appointment thing, and we'll do that.
Sounds good. Okay,
All
see you
right.
later.
Thank you,
Bye
bro.
bye.
Cool. See you. Take care.
Okay, hey guys, thanks for watching. I'm just gonna go back and review some of the messages. I'm new here. Can you briefly explain the device regarding pathogens and infections? So we have frequencies for the pathogens. We have frequencies for all those things. So you just have to use our either the website or the tablet that we have, and just search for whatever the frequencies you need, and just play them with the coils. And all the tutorials are explained how to use that on the website. What do you think about psychedelics for therapy? There's a lot of people saying that psychedelics are good for therapy, but I think only to a certain extent, because what happens, what psychedelics do is it opens up your basically your crown chakra, and it just opens up your chi energy, so a lot of things can leak, and a lot of things can opening it up for something bad to come in. I don't know. I know it's not doesn't sound very scientific, but according to TCM, we do have psychedelics in TCM. Okay, and what they do, like traditional Chinese medicine, we do have psychedelics for it. And what the text, or what the teachers say, are that it opens up your chi, which is good in some cases. But if you open up your chi all the time, then you deplete your chi, and your mind becomes depleted, and that can sometimes happen if you use too much. Okay, so that's just my word of advice there. First time seeing you online, watch your videos and love your Qi Coils. Thank you for putting your work out there. You're welcome, Jamie. What frequency is used for kidney healing? You can try the kidney frequencies or kidney support frequencies on our system. I tried to get one machine last year, but I was told that we do not deliver to UK. No, that's not true. We deliver everywhere. We deliver everywhere in the globe. Just order again. Right now, we still have a few days left for our Black Friday sale, so just order again. If you need help, just click the consultation link on our website, and if you want to talk to somebody to help you with that. Love you, bro. Thank you, Gio. Intention has to be more than 5%. It can be, right? But it depends on the person. I'm just saying placebo. I didn't say intention. Placebo is 5%. Scientifically proven. Placebo. Intention may be stronger because they actually have focused intention and may be stronger. So thanks. Yeah, you tried the muscle test. Just did the 2 circles practice, is working great. What's the 2 circles? Oh, you mean the kinesiology. Can you use headphones? Yes, you can. I'm curious how much of it actually is placebo. Scientifically, like I said, 5% is placebo. Hello, thank you for coming on. Okay, so I gotta go. So go to this link, use the chi.com to learn more and take a deep dive. You have lots of free stuff on this link, and you can learn about Qi Coils and start your journey there. Okay, so just go to use the Qi. It's the same link on my profile, so go check it out. Don't miss the Black Friday sale. We only have a couple days left, and we have some bonuses that we give away. Which are while the supply is limited. So when we give them all away, then you won't be able to get them anymore. So it's only for the next couple more days. Okay, so this is the best sale of the year. It won't be a better sale than this the rest of the year. So if you've been saving up or waiting for the right time to get a Qi Coil, like I said, you do have a 30-day results guarantee. If you don't get results, no problem. We'll give you 100% money back. Okay, go check it out. Use the chi.com. All right, see you later. Bye-bye. Turn the sign around. Use the chi. So I guess it's backwards. Use the Qi, USETHEQI.com.